Passion and lust, for me at 89 in a sexual sense, is now just a memory. But every now and again, something does pop up. My story starts with memories of my early years when I was born into a working class family. Mum, dad and elder brother. We lived in a 2-up and 2-down terraced house off Springbank. When I was about 13, during the war, I became aware of things within the family, and I'd noticed that Mum and Dad never showed any affection for each other. Not a kiss, or a hug, or a smile. Why I noticed it then, I don't know, but when I thought about it, they never had. Mum was proud of her 2 boys, and me being the youngest, went everywhere with her. I was never told anything at school about the birds and the bees, or even at home. At the age of 14, I was struggling with the onset of puberty, its mysteries and feeling of guilt, wondering if it was something that was only happening to me, and there was no one I could turn to. Girls came on the scene at the youth club, and I was quite happy to stand and talk. But us lads were only there for the snooker and the table tennis. Eventually, I managed to make a date with a girl, and we went to the cinema. We chatted about the youth club and the people who went there. During the film, I sat in my own space and kept myself to myself. Don't know what the young lady must have thought. At that time in my life, I saw girls of my age as being of higher status, and I put them on a pedestal and therefore untouchable. As time went by, I became more relaxed, and holding hands and a goodnight kiss became the norm. Then, during 1951, at the age of 20, passion and lust arrived in my life when I met a dark-eyed, very striking young lady. I was swept away. Many nights on the back row, her space was mine, my space was hers. The trouble with our relationship was she lived way out of town, and having somewhere private to meet was a problem. But one Friday night, the house was mine. There was a nice fire burning in the living room, so all was set. I met her off the bus, and home we went. As we made ourselves comfortable, I realised she was a very, very striking young lady. And this was my first sexual encounter. When the moment arrived, I was so overwhelmed that I finished before I started. I was so ashamed of myself, I couldn't face her. And we parted company. That night brought me down to earth with a bang. And even though I went out with other girls, it was the same old Bernard, don't touch. During 1955, I met another dark-eyed, very striking young lady, and again was swept off my feet. At first, it was an on-off relationship, full of doubt about taking it any further, but eventually I asked her to marry me, and we were together for 55 years. I still have passion and lust in my life, which I'm pleased to say support it and keep me going. My passions are my family, friends and theatre. My lust is for life and what I can do with it.